This tutorial will focus on the column expansion ReadTech data template for UDemed MDR device.
So I'm going to go over here and switch over to the document that I've already been working on, just to show you how it works here. So the first four, as you see, well, the first thing I want to point out here is that the legend. The legend is important because we have different colors here for each square or column. Yellow is required for UDemed submission. Basically, any column that has a yellow color on it is required to be populated for our system to even get an import success. So when you upload your document, you need to make sure that every yellow block is populated, every yellow column is populated prior to importing the document. If one of them is not, you'll get an import failure. Second, I'd like to point out is the light blue, required if applicable. Now there are some URL for additional information is an example, and this is what it would look like, that light blue color. So if this is applicable to your device and you have a URL for additional information, this is where you would include that. And then third is the most important, well, I would say the second important, most important one to the yellow color is green. And this is also required if applicable. So some of these columns that are colored in green might not be applicable to your product. However, it does support multiple entry grouped attributes, such as the brand or trade names. So I did do an example earlier on how to add the brand or trade name or that column expansion. So if it's in green here, you can only if you only have one device in one language, it's fine to just have that, and then you don't need to have multiple instances. But the option is there. So if you do have another instance of your brand in another language, what you would do is copy these entire columns. I think you need to use Control-C for that aspect. And then you right-click on the next column and insert copied cells. And then you can go ahead and change the next instance. So like I said, I'm just showing you again how to do that column expansion and what that green color means, and that means that you're able to copy the cells. All of these other cells that are not colored in green, you're not able to copy and paste them into this document. This will bring me to the next aspect of the document. We have 4 tabs here. We have a model tab, which is our basic UDI DI tab, which has all the data attributes associated with your model number or your basic UDI DI. And again, this is color coded the same way, and it's directly related to the device tab. So the device tab is where you'll have all your device attributes populated. And the way that we make that connection between the device and its model family is by entering that basic UDI DI here and its issuing agency here. As long as you have this basic UDI DI filled out correctly with its device identifier that's associated with it, our system will understand that any device identifier that is associated with this basic UDI DI will be put in that family. And we can show how that works in a future tutorial when uploading these documents to our system. So the third tab here is a single source list of values. As you can see earlier, I was using a drop-down button for the trade names or languages. So anytime we have a drop-down option for any of our fields in the template, we'll have a list of values in this tab for each one of those attributes. So in this example, the only acceptable languages that UDemed will accept are listed right here in the single source list of values. Same thing with the EU member states and other things such as clinical size type and storage and handling, etc. So if you are ever unsure what type of, maybe what the clinical size type is or whatever option you're supposed to select when utilizing that drop down button, which is right here, similar to here, you can reference that single source list of values. It could be a little difficult to find exactly what you're looking for in some instances because there might be a big range of values that you can select from. For example, the clinical size data attribute has quite a bit of values that you can choose from. So sometimes it's easy to just reference this tab, the single source list of values tab. The final tab is our release notes tab. So anytime we make a change to the template, we will put an update in the release notes section. We'll put a date that the change was made, the area where the changes were made, and then a description of it. And this will be maintained as the data template evolves. So this will be important when more channels come online, or if EUMDR were to make some changes or update anything regarding some of their attributes. That can all be recognized in the change description and release notes section here.